Hey there and welcome to the Mike Talks Football channel. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoy the preview of this weekend's Premier League games. So this weekend is the 36th and 37th game for everyone, depending on who you are. Some have played 35 and others have played 36. This is the last proper weekend of football. So there'll be a few games in the week on Tuesday, and then there's several on Wednesday, and then there's game Thursday, and then the Premier League finishes 13th of May, and that is on a Sunday. So that's the end of the season then. So there's only 3 or 2 games left depending on who you are, and no Monday Night Football this week, but there is a game on Friday, or tonight if you're watching it. You may already know the result, so I might look a bit of an idiot with my prediction. So Manchester United are in fine form, losing just 1 of their last 5 games, coming against West Brom in that very fluke result. No wins in the last 5 for Brighton, with 3 draws against Burnley away, Tottenham at home and Huddersfield at home. I think that Manchester United will get the win here. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Manchester United. I really can't see Brighton winning this, but any sort of point at this stage for Brighton would pretty much seal their place, you know. So if they win, they would be clear of Southampton pretty much. Southampton would have to win every game to catch them. So a win here would be brilliant for Brighton. A win for Manchester United would take them to 80 points, which is the max that Tottenham could get. So that's pretty much second place wrapped up. Liverpool can only get 78 and Tottenham can get 80 points. So that's pretty much them sorted out. They're already qualified for the Champions League, so there's not really much riding on this. So, like I say, I'm going to go for 2-0 to Manchester United, and I think I'm really looking forward to another Friday Night Football. There hasn't been one for ages. There was meant to be one, Newcastle versus Spurs, but the FA Cup pay for that. Moving on to Saturday, a huge game at the bottom, a massive game at the bottom, kicks off at 12:30 between Stoke and Crystal Palace. Another huge game here. So Crystal Palace are currently on 38 points. A win here would mean that they would be safe, officially safe, but they're pretty much safe now. A win for Stoke would put them on 33 points, level with Swansea, but they have a worse goal difference. So a win here for Stoke would be massive. Lose and they'll only have 1 more game left. But it's against... So pretty much they need to win here. They need to get, at least they need to win here and really put themselves among it. Because their next game is Swansea away on the 13th on Sunday, last game of the season. So they could get out of it. If they got 2 wins, they would drag Swansea into it, West Ham and Huddersfield. They'd be above them with 2 wins. So Stoke are by no means down, but a win there could really open up their chances. The first of 4 games kicking off at 3 o'clock in the Premier League. Bournemouth are hosting Swansea. Massive game for Swansea. A win for Bournemouth would officially see them safe on 41 points. So that would be marvellous for them. With one of the smallest budgets in the league, they continually do very, very well. Swansea are just 1 point above the relegation zone under Carlos Carvalhal. Their form, 2 draws in the last 5 games and 3 defeats. They really need to get something here. They really do. But Swansea's last games are Southampton and Stoke away. So any sort of point here would be massive I'm going to go for a draw here. And I'm going to go 1-1. I just realised I forgot to make a prediction. I forgot to make a prediction for the Stoke game. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Crystal Palace. The next game is another game involving one of the teams fighting down at the bottom. West Ham will travel to Leicester. Leicester are on 44 points and can't finish in the relegation zone. That's already sorted out. So they've really got nothing to play for. There's a bit of unhappiness between the Leicester fans and Claude Puel. Whether that will play into anything, I don't know. They've got rid of 2 managers in the last 12 months in Claudio Ranieri, and then they got rid of Craig Shakespeare at the beginning of the season. So they've sacked a couple of managers. So Claude better be looking over his shoulder. They've won just once in their last 5 games, beating Brighton away 2-0. Also got a point against Southampton, but in their other games they lost 5-0 to Palace on Saturday after being down to 10 men. Lost to Burnley away and also lost to Newcastle at home. West Ham have shipped 8 goals in their last 2 games against Arsenal and Manchester City. But before that, 2 draws and a win against Southampton. Any sort of point here would really put West Ham safe. I think 38 would see them safe. A draw, I'm not sure a draw would be enough at this point, but certainly West Ham should be going there and winning the game. They played okay for spells against Manchester City. They played okay for spells against Arsenal. They really need to be going there and having a go. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to West Ham. Mainly because they need it. Leicester don't, and usually things aren't good if you've got nothing to play for most of the time. And in the final 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff of the season, West Brom face Tottenham Hotspur. So obviously West Brom have been in fine form since Darren Moore took over. 2 draws and 2 wins under Darren Moore, including wins against Manchester United, Newcastle, who've been in good form, and a draw against Liverpool. If Tottenham win this, that's pretty much guaranteed them 4th place. So that would be very good. That's what they wanted at the start of the season, really, as a minimum, to be able to play Champions League football in their brand new stadium. Any sort of defeat here would see West Brom go down, unfortunately, but they've done amazing to be at this sort of position at the moment. They really have. So they're 5 points behind Swansea. They can only get a maximum of 6 points, so they need to win again. I can't see it happening this time. I really can't. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Tottenham and for West Brom to be relegated on Saturday. Final game of the Saturday games is a 5:30 kickoff. Everton take on Southampton. Another huge game at the bottom. So Everton have been in okay form despite the obvious negativity at Goodison Park at the moment. They won their last 2, beating Everton, beating Huddersfield and Newcastle, and then had draws against Swansea and Liverpool. In their home fixtures, they've won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1 against Manchester City. So that's good form away from home. Southampton have won just once under Mark Hughes in that good massive win against Bournemouth. That's points picked up from their last 5 games with that draw against Leicester. One of those games was in the FA Cup where they lost 2-0 to Chelsea, as well as that late winner for Arsenal in a 3-2 victory, as well as that comeback by Chelsea. So they've been shipping a fair few goals, Southampton. Away from home, it doesn't make good reading. In their last 5 Premier League games, they've picked up just 2 points. So they need to really go at Everton, and with the unrest, they need to try and keep things quiet, try to get the fans on the backs of Sam Allardyce and the players and try to pick up something. A draw would probably be okay if they do go on to beat Swansea on Tuesday, but whether they will, I don't know. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Everton for the final Saturday game, and we move on to Sunday. There are 3 games that day. First off, the champions are going to be crowned at the Etihad with a 1:30 kickoff in Manchester. They face Huddersfield. Huddersfield have been really struggling for form. Just 1 win in their last 7, coming against Watford, who have basically given up for the season. So Manchester City have won their last 3 games against Tottenham, Swansea and West Ham. In that time, they have scored 12 goals, which is 4 a game. So Huddersfield are known for shipping goals. They've shipped a lot of goals. I think they got the worst goal difference in total. Huddersfield haven't scored many. It's not like they haven't conceded the most. They haven't conceded anywhere near as much as West Ham, but they don't score. They've only scored 27 times. To put that into perspective, that's less than Mo Salah scored. So they really struggle for goals. This could be a hammering for Huddersfield if they're not careful. I'm going to go for 4-0 to City, and it would be nice to see them crowned champions. This would move them on to 31 wins, which would be a Premier League record. This would move them on to 96 points, another Premier League record. 2 games at 4:30. So there are Arsenal versus Burnley. This one isn't on TV in the UK. The reason it's a late kickoff is because of the Europa League. So they get back. They'll probably get back today and have a couple of days to rest up for Sunday. So Arsenal have been in good form at home. In the last 5 games in all competitions, they won 4, drawn once against Atletico Madrid. Burnley's away form has been also very good. 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat. Burnley have drawn their last 2 games. 1 loss against Chelsea in that game before the FA Cup, and 2 wins before that against Leicester and Watford. This will be Arsene Wenger's last game as Arsenal manager at the Emirates Stadium. So hopefully they will, try to send him off on a high from the Emirates. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Arsenal with a late goal sealing the victory. And finally, in one of the biggest games of the calendar year, Chelsea host Liverpool. So this is a massive game, but there's nothing riding on it. If Tottenham beat Liverpool, that's pretty much curtains to Chelsea getting into 4th spot. Liverpool are 6 points clear of Chelsea. I really doubt even if Chelsea win, they will beat Liverpool to 4th spot. And they've really got nothing to play for. I think Liverpool put out a fairly good side. I'm going to go for 1-1. I think it's going to be a fairly boring game. There's nothing riding on it. Usually it's, be Chelsea, Liverpool. Everyone will be, glued to their tellers. But it's come at a very strange time. It's unusual to have such big games so close to the end of the season. And then that is the final game of the weekend. And then we go into a few games in the midweek, and the Premier League rounds off on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So let me know your predictions down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I am Mike, and I will see you soon.